Okay, so for one of my first jobs, I used to work in the community. So this was going to people's houses and doing care there. So one morning happened to be fall. I've been at work for maybe at most a couple hours. Go to see a guy, he's in an apartment building, and it was a little bit later at night, maybe like 8 or whatever. And on that street, there's not usually a lot of people walking around who are older at that time, just for general safety, or they're already in bed. Anyway, so I see an older guy walking towards me, so I had to park a little farther away. And I kind of wonder if that's my guy, because it kind of looked like the description that I was given. Anyways, go to his suite, do the lockbox. He's not there. Go outside. He's the one, of course, I saw. Well, he tells me that he's wants to go on an airplane to, no, sorry, go to the airport to pick up his wife, who I didn't know at the time was long gone. He was having an episode. And so getting him to corral back into the apartment was a feat. And it was kind of my first kind of time doing it. I've never really encountered this. Like, so many things could have happened if he actually got into a taxi and was able to call, which he couldn't, thank God. And he could have got lost in the forest. So many things could have happened. Anyways, got him back in the house after a good 20 minutes. I'm calling my supervisor, being like, I don't know what to do. This is like day one. Like, what do you want? And she said the same thing, just trying to get him back inside, do your best. I can't really come out there. I'm with someone else with more of an emergency right now. I'm like, okay, great. I feel left behind already. Get him in. I unplug his phone, be like, oh, I don't know why it doesn't work. It's a mystery. I don't know the taxi phone number or the airport number. But he was adamant that his wife was coming home on a plane, because maybe someone called about that, like a telemarketer or whatever. He just had this thought, and he was convinced that he had to go get his wife from Vancouver Airport, and it was more than an hour drive easy. So he was willing to spend the few $100s it would have taken to get a taxi all the way there and all the way back. So this guy right off the bat would have been out easy $400, like for sure. Anyways, so this continues on. I'm still calling the supervisor. We're like, no, now he's really adamant. Now he's gonna be upset. I don't think he ate. I gave him some food. He doesn't want to eat. Like, it was just one problem after another. I couldn't redirect. I couldn't settle him. Anyway, so eventually, after at least an hour of having this conversation, which is more than my allotted time, I've been there way too long now, he finally decides, you know what, I am a little peckish. Maybe I'll go with a cup of hot water and a cheese sandwich. I'm like, awesome, fantastic. Yeah, let's get some food in you. I don't even know when you last ate. I don't know anything about you other than that. So he did. He settled. Okay, great. I'm like, okay, like, let's talk about like literally anything except what just happened. No phones. I'm disconnected that still. Hid away the cord so we couldn't figure out how to put it back together in case he got some insight all of a sudden. It was the first immense problem, the first real problem I've seen in a community where if I wasn't there at that time, who knows where he could have ended up. It was an issue. And luckily that family had overnight care as well, which was great. So that lady showed up. So I explained to her what was happening. I'm like, you got to keep him inside. Like, stay up all night, lock the door, like, just in case he makes a break again. She's like, oh, yeah, it's happened before. I'm like, really? Because nothing in his care plan indicated that. So not only was I already annoyed, I'm kind of scared for his safety because he's a lone guy by himself. He can go anytime. He clearly did. There's no other really care there. The family was maybe trying to get him in, which is a system error. It happens all the time. But this was a huge safety risk. I would have pressured case manager to bump him up a lot sooner than that, if this is an issue, an ongoing one especially. So luckily she took over. I charted. I kept hounding my supervisor, like, what the fuck is this? This is ridiculous. This is not what I signed up for. This guy could have died. Oh yeah, it happens sometimes, but you did the right thing though. You kept him inside. I'm like, well, what if it went sideways? What if he wasn't the nicest person? Okay, what if he did escape or push me out of the way or whatever? Then what? Oh, you just let him go and you call the police. Okay, now it's missing persons. Now it's a manhunt because he was lived by a forest. This became a huge issue and I was none too pleased with it, so I asked not to go there again, and I got my wish. And last I heard, he was in a locked facility for that reason alone. Hopefully for his own safety. It was bullshit. I was not impressed on my first day. Other happier things ended up coming from other jobs, but not only was I behind, now I'm pissing off other people. I now had one of the really scary experience on the first day. I was not impressed, but of course I stayed with the job. I need to learn, need the money, so I stayed. More to come on that.